I was
What
going
were
to
you
say
saying?
the exact same thing that you were about to say, I think. Just how those breaths were essential. Like
Essential.
for whatever reason, I was a little anxious, a little like I think I have a lot of energy that I haven't like expressed physically. I've been sitting at a desk a lot recently and on my computer.
Mm.
I haven't been going to the gym very much recently or doing any of my stretching that I typically do for the past week. And I think that's a part of it too. And then I've been drinking caffeine a ton recently, which is a stimulant. And then I'm sitting at a desk and not doing anything. So it's just like adding on to it, I feel like. But even just those 15 refresh breaths right there make a huge difference.
Well, how important is it to you to active, like to be active? You know what I'm saying? Like just to be,
Hmm.
I feel like for me, being active and moving my body at pretty much any caliber totally brings me into my body. Do, is activity super important for you? And how do you prioritize activity, especially when you sit at a desk, frequent?
It's so important. And I've been needing to remind myself to prioritize it recently. It's always been a habit, I think, in my entire life. And playing sports, growing up playing baseball, we stretch every single time before practice and every game. And me personally, beyond what we do as a warm up with a team when we were growing up, I would always take extra time, like almost all the way leading up until I go out on the field to play a game or go out on the field and practice. And even
Mm.
when I'm playing a game in between pitches, like I'm stretching. Um, and I've always just kind of had movement and exercise and stretching be a part of my daily routine. And now that I'm at a point where I'm not playing baseball anymore and I'm more so doing these things for myself and just because my body needs them, I find that I have to remind myself to do it a little bit more, but it's a lot
Mm.
easier to stay in the habit of doing them since I know the benefits. I know that it's a necessity and that I've learned how to do it growing up properly for myself and what
Mm.
works with me. So it's beyond important. And if you don't do it, your body can just implode on itself.
Mm. Mm. Bro, it's truly medicine. Like
Mm,
to move my body regardless of what my day looks like. If like today, for example, I haven't really stretched too crazy. I haven't really like done any like exercise or anything like that. And like as I'm sitting here, like I feel it.
yep.
Like yesterday was such a loaded day, like just to kind of bring you into how I'm feeling today.
Yeah.
Um the so yesterday at 5:30 I woke up, helped Mac, kind of get her things together to get her on the road because I drove her down to the train station in San Diego. And we had to get there by 7:45 or basically by 8, but we got her there at 7:45 or so. Right after that, I went to the beach and because I was like, you know what? 10 minutes, 15 minutes from the beach, I gotta go. Like, if I'm that close, like I'm gonna go to the ocean. And when I went, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do like a meditation, maybe get a workout in, just like run and get in the water a little bit. So I did that, and then pretty much immediately after that, I have to drive all the way back up the mountain, which was like an hour and a half, and then get the dogs situated and get everything situated at the house before I go into my serving shift. And then I did that until like 4:30, I want to say. Came home, have a break from 4:30 or so to 6, And in that time, like I've got to make sure the dogs are straight again, like give them time to do their thing, but also try to find that space for me to like come back into my body.
Yeah.
And then I went into my other shift at 6, probably 6:30. And then from 6:30 to 10:30, I'm at my other shift. And then I finally get to like come home and lay my head on the pillow at probably like 11. But it was just like nonstop going. And I woke up today actually really like refreshed, and I feel like I slept really good last night. But my body has so many sore spots where I'm like, holy shit, like I've got like a nice thick knot in my shoulder, and you know, like my low back is super sore. I'm like, dang, why is all that real sore? Like, oh yeah, because I had a freaking loaded day, like drove 3 hours, worked 10 hours. You know what I'm saying?
Dude,
So
I think
today, what were you saying?
no. I was gonna say, like, I think when we're busy and we go about our days and we have all these things to do and we do accomplish them, it's like our body, we ignore that our voice and our knots, like that knot is screaming at you, like your back's tired, like lower your shoulders, but you're not hearing it because you're doing all these things. You're driving here, you're doing this, you're taking care of the dogs, you're working 10 hours, like. Then the next day comes and you're off, and then those knots are still screaming. You just finally hear them.
Bro, for real, because there's no distractions. Like today, it's like, oh, for the first, you know, pretty much my whole day today, I get to sort of choose what I want to be doing. And yeah, bro, there's no, I'm not doing extra shit to where I don't hear them, you know. And today it's like after this pod, I'm definitely going to be like rolling my back out, maybe getting a workout in at some caliber. You know, it is crazy. Like I'll still fill up my day. Like I'm like, oh yeah, I'll do 2 mixes, a podcast, do all these things today. And it's like, what am I talking about? There has to be some sort of, it's so important to integrate the health of the body and the mind into a day, because if I don't personally, I will go 7 days a week, all day, every day, like creating, working, trying to do it all without taking true rest breaks. And that shit will pop me in the mouth after probably day like 10, 11, 12 or so. I'll be like, damn, why do I just feel sluggish today? You know, and it's like, oh, I've been going and not taking these super crucial moments of like actually just sitting there without putting myself in that space to be idea driven or coming up with new things. Like at night, bro, I literally have to say, okay, and this is internal dialogue, but I have to say, okay, I love that idea. Because at night when I close my eyes, I have so many ideas. It always happens that way. Because I'm not looking at a screen. I'm not doing something. I'm just laying there with my eyes closed. So it's like the mind is just like, ooh, I've got this one. I got this one. But I literally have to say, hey, I love that idea. I love that you're still being creative, but it is time to rest. And I will do that probably like 10 times before the mind actually is like, okay, I got you. And then, you know, my body will start to get heavy. It'll start to feel like sand and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Do you at night, do you struggle with going right to sleep, or are you able just to like shut it off, click it off, and then you're just out?
I've never been able to, like, ever. There'll be occasional days where I hit the bed and I'm able to go to sleep right then and there, but it's pretty few and far between. I have a super overactive mind, kind of like you, with when you close your eyes and there's no stimulus, there's no phone, there's no TV, there's nothing but like the sound of your fan and the sensory of you like feeling your pillow and your blanket and the comfiness of it. My brain moves a bajillion miles a second, and I'll have 97,000 ideas while I'm sitting there in bed. I have always struggled with falling asleep at night. And even there'll be days where like I'll go nonstop, I'll get a good workout in, I'll work 6 hours, I'll be busy and exhaust my mind and my body, but at the end of the day, I'm still not able to fall asleep. And it's not ever like there'll be some times where I'm in bed for like a few hours and can't fall asleep, but most of the time it's like an hour ish, they're 45, 30 minutes, and then I'm able to fall asleep. Because, like you said, once I'm able to shut my internal voice off that's having all these thoughts and ideas and thinking about my day, thinking about the future, like what I want to do tomorrow, what kind of songs I want to start making, or like when should I do this, trying to schedule things. Like once I shut that off, then I'm like, oh, I can finally pass out.
For sure. Well, I feel like even kind of like what you're saying, like remedies to that. Like, I don't know what you've come across that like helps you go to sleep quicker. Because at the end of the day, like sleep is like our bodies repair when we sleep. Like our bodies restore, repair, rejuvenate. And I feel like when, for example, like if I fall asleep, bro, looking at like watching a show, playing a game, whatever it is, pretty much anything that is stimulating with like a blue light, basically a phone or like an iPad. If I cook my brain, because I've done this, I'm guilty of it, where I will like watch something, like let's say 3 episodes of a show, which is insane because I'm laying down, I'm flat back, which my body is like, oh, okay, this is when we sleep. Our bodies are so smart. But when I sit there and like fry out my brain until my eyes are like barely staying open, watching something this close to my face, that wrecks my sleep for that night. Like, I don't know what it is or what exactly, like how it works exactly. But when I wake up the next morning, I'm like still groggy, still a bit sluggish. And it's like my brain gets so fried in those moments of watching the show or binging, Netflix or whatever it is, to where when I wake up, it's like it still hasn't recovered because it was so fried and it tried to like shut off. It almost feels like I picture this visual of like almost like this thing that like shuts at night, but it was like trying to force it shut. It was like in the brain, but it starts like burning and screws are falling out. Like, it's like, and you see like, you hear a whistle and shit and the screws are like flying everywhere. It feels like it's that. And then it just goes, it just crashes. So like in the morning when I wake up, it's like, I got to repair it. It's not even, now I got to repair it. Like the body will do it naturally through the unconscious slumber. But when I treat it in that way before bed, bro, it's like I still got to wake up and repair it consciously the next day because that shit got fucked up last night when I was just sitting there like this, like phone this close to my face, Yeah, it's crazy. But what is something that helps you get to bed quicker at night? Because it is so crucial to wake up and be energized for the next day, to create, to work, to be healthy in relationships, all the things. Like what's something you do that actively, helps you with that?
Definitely stretching, like tying back to it, like getting a really good stretch in my hips, in my back, in my hamstrings, my shoulders, my neck, and my jaw. Like if I just get a good 15, like minimum 5 minutes, like last night I probably stretched for about 3 or 4 minutes. Like ideally I would be able to stretch for at least like 15, maybe roll out with a foam roller. That just brings me into my body. And when I am stretching, there's nothing you can really think about except how good/bad the stretch feels. Because stretching is painful. Like genuinely, it hurts and it's supposed to hurt. But you tread that line between it hurting too bad because you don't want to actually like hurt yourself. But that fine in between balance of getting a good stretch and working through that pain and getting those muscles to relax, it brings you into yourself, and you can't worry about this, that, and the third while you're stretching, because you have to focus on your breathing. You have to focus on how your body feels. And I would say that's probably the best one that I found. The breathing technique, Wim Hof breathing. If you guys don't know about it, I absolutely recommend it, not just for sleep before bed, but throughout your day. If you're an anxious person, or if you just feel like you want to prioritize yourself in your mind, in your body, just for, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes is probably how long it takes to do a full 3 rounds of the breathing technique. But it's called Wim Hof. That's the guy's name who invented it. And that is probably the very best thing combined with stretching. Like, stretch and then do the Wim Hof, and I will go to bed so fast.
For sure. For sure. Yeah, shout out Wim Hof, man. It's crazy what the man has just naturally done for the world. And yeah, I was going to say that if you didn't mention just like the breathing technique, the Wim Hof method, just the absolute power and almost instantaneous presence it brings to you, to, you know, I know that's something we get to share a lot, is the breathing method. And it's probably the closest thing to magic. Like, anybody who struggles with quieting the mind, maybe feels anxious, like you were saying, if you come from a background of smoking, this is a beautiful replacement to putting things into your body to quiet the mind, to de-stimulate, to be grounded. It is such a good practice because anybody who has ever smoked before is like, oh, wow, I love smoking weed, whatever. That's cool. There's no judgment. But I promise you, doing 3 rounds of the Wim Hof method will feel just like smoking a great joint. It just will. And for me, like, meditation and yoga and breath work replaced smoking probably like 6 years ago for me. And through breath work, I'm literally taking in oxygen to not only come into myself, but to put myself in my body to take on the rest of my day, whether I'm creating, going out in the world, whatever it is. It puts me in a space of love and truth and like actually seeing what's in front of me, you know,
Right.
like really seeing people. Because I think when I exist in the mind a little heavier, regardless of what I'm doing, I'm just not as present as I could be. So, like you were saying, the Wim Hof method is so good for really any activity, anything you're doing in your day, giving yourself an extra 10, 15 minutes to stop to do it. There's a YouTube video that you can follow along with. It's so amazing. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Life-changing for me. You could probably say the same.
Oh, dude, I have a vivid memory of the first time that you showed me the Wim Hof breathing technique and we did it together. And I just want to speak on my experience doing it for the first time, because a lot of people are unfamiliar with the Wim Hof breathing technique. If you are, do it after this podcast or pause this and do it right now. We can throw a link. Let's throw a link in the YouTube video too in the description to the tutorial you can follow along with as well. But I remember doing the Wim Hof breathing technique with my brother for the first time, and it is truly, it was such a, like, I went into it with an open mind, and I didn't really know, like, I didn't have any expectations of how I was going to feel. And I remember we were like maybe a round into it, which a round is 20 or 25 really big breaths in and then an exhale halfway out. We were about halfway, maybe a third of the way or 3/4 of the way into the first round. And I got a feeling in my face that I've never ever felt my entire life. Like my lips started tingling, like my eyelids started twitching a little bit, but it wasn't a feeling I got and I was like scared. Like I felt it and I was aware that it was taking place, but I just kept doing the breathing. And by the end of it, after the third round, my whole entire body had this feeling of relaxation that and calmness and stillness that I think it needed so bad. And it never ever got to feel while I was conscious and awake. Like maybe I'm that relaxed when I'm sleeping, yeah, but when I was a waking, thinking human, never ever felt that sense of relaxation and peace and just being in my body and being present, doing anything else ever. Like it's indescribable, the benefits of it, and it'll only help you as much as you allow it to help you, I feel like. And that goes with really anything. Like say you want to start, just since we've kind of talked about it a few times on this podcast already, say you want to start exercising more. You're only going to get the benefits of exercising that you allow to receive. You have to put in the effort and go to the gym or do a little workout in your room, pull up that YouTube video instead of getting on your computer to do whatever. Like you have to put in effort and you're only going to receive the benefits of it with how much effort you put in. It's usually pretty equal. Like the amount of effort you put in is what you're going to get back. But with the Wim Hof breathing technique, I think the thing that makes it so freaking special is that all it takes is for you to sit down somewhere and do it. And as soon as you start, you feel the effects while you're doing it. And then after, you feel amazing. Clear mind, no longer anxious. It takes away my headaches. I think that's a huge one. Anytime I have a headache, if I do the breathing technique, it's gone in 10, 15 minutes. Like, there's so many benefits to it. Touching back to the first time we did it, I think we were in the parking lot of like a grocery store or something in the car. And I remember getting out of the car and walking into the grocery store, and I just could not help but have the biggest smile on my face, dude. Like, genuinely, because it just made me feel so good, and I couldn't help but smile. Like, we were walking in to go buy whatever the heck we were going to buy at the grocery store. Like, that's usually not an experience that people are just ear to ear cheesing about. But since we did this breathing technique, like, we were just absolutely geeked and just happy. Like, there's so many benefits to it.
Yeah, and I think it's sort of like, damn, all it takes is 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes to sit down and stop for that amount of time. Like, think about how easy it is to actually dedicate 15 minutes to yourself, because that's what you're doing, you know, to anybody who has a practice or maybe is interested in a practice of some sort. Like, it's not some, like, I remember I used to think before I went out to Thailand that monks and people who practice and had practices like became these ultimate mythical beings that could like float in a temple. And I truly felt like I was going to go to Thailand when I went, and I was going to walk in and see some monks like, hey, like floating in the air, you know, and I'm just going to be, oh my God. I thought that, like, that was my vision of it, because I'm like, where do they go? Like, they spend all this time practicing. I only practice and meditate sometimes. Like, what do they do when they commit their whole lives to it and they get rid of all these things to become closer to themselves and practice and take their practice deeper? Like, what does that look like? It's like, you know, the most beautiful part about it all is just having a practice brings you into self, and it literally can take, you don't have to dedicate your whole life. You can live in the States and enjoy all the benefits of living in the States and having a social media and enjoying entertainment and art and all the things that we love as humans, and literally take 15 minutes out of your day to come into yourself, and your whole life will change
Oh
just
my gosh.
with that small amount of time. And I encourage everyone to literally sit there and think like, dang, where could I put 15 minutes? That's it. 15 minutes, interject that into my day. Is there any moments when I can stop to sit and nurture myself? Because chances are most of us are caught up in giving so much energy to a job, to relationships, to the natural things in life that just call us to provide energy and nurture. A lot of the times, what I notice for myself is when I'm giving out so much energy, my cup starts to empty. And eventually, when I hit the bottom of the cup, I start to get a little irritable. I can be quick. I can be snappy. I can get frustrated easier. I'm like, damn, why did I get like why did that happen? And that's all it takes usually is like why, like because
Right.
as soon as I ask why, all of a sudden it separates me from the frustration or whatever it is. And if it's a little storm cloud right above my head, it's like when I say, but why? It's like the storm cloud goes, yep, and moves over to the side. And I'm like, oh, it was raining on me. That's why I was pissed. I'm like, oh, okay. But when it moves off of me, I'm like, I can see clearly now because the storm is cleared up. I'm like, damn, my cup is empty. And it's like I'm saying, we're beating this shit on the head.
The rain is gone.
It's like, bro, like when I take those 10, 15 minutes, I can give so much more to all the things that I feel like, oh no, like I used to feel, oh gosh, if I, like, where can I fit this in? It's like, no, when I give myself 15 minutes minimum in a day, I can give times 2, times 3, times 4, times 5 what I can give if I don't fill my cup. You know what I'm saying? Because when I fill my cup, that shit'll overflow and it just spills out. I'm not even
Yeah.
losing energy yet when I'm at the very top because it's just overflowing and it just keeps overflowing. And to take that principle one step further, it's like if I fill my cup 3 times a day, well, if I stay up near 100% and let it slowly, gradually go down, and then when it's at like 50%, I'm feeling a little sluggish, tired, I fill it back up. Maybe it doesn't get to 100, but it gets back up to 90. And I do that all day. It's like, dude, the possibilities are crazy. It'll put me back into the creative mode. It will put me back into being a lover, to being graceful, to being patient with my partner, to being patient with the dogs, whatever it is. Like, there's no crazy science to it. You know, it's that simple. Just by filling our cups, we're going to be able to show up more everywhere, you know?
Dude, what a awesome analogy. Like you put it in such an easy way to understand, and like you explain what is so necessary for all of us in a really simple form. And as much as it is simple, it is something that is so difficult because we're not taught how to have these habits and how to do these things. Or at least for me growing up, there wasn't somebody like saying, hey, like this stuff is important. We were taught a lot of beneficial things, but there was not really a light shined on what you just spoke about. And it's so important because when you are filling up your cup and prioritizing yourself, you said that love and that patience, it overflows and it starts spilling onto other people whose cups might be at 15%. They've had a long ass day working their butts off at their job, dealing with a whole bunch of stressful things. And then you come in and slowly their cup starts to get filled up off of yours, and they're able to be more patient and show more love and enjoy their day. And energy is so contagious. And I think as creators and overthinkers and people who have overstimulated minds and are thinking all the time and having all these big giant plans and so many things to do and goals to accomplish, we just gotta remember to fill our buckets up, dude. And just touching back and like coming full circle, you're genuinely constraining yourself from reaching all of your goals and making that awesome song, from writing a awesome book that you've been working on, like finishing whatever that goal is, whatever your creative outlet is, whatever your goal is within your job or your business. If you don't take the time to fill up your cup, you're genuinely hurting yourself. And it relates to how you explained your day earlier in the podcast. You were doing all these things, going from here to there, going from shift to shift to shift, taking care of the dogs. Those things are important, and they're to help you achieve your goals. And it just, you run into a barrier if you continue to do those things and have these habits of just go, 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 and not ever taking time to stop and refill your cup. Like I said, you're constraining yourself. And the more that you take time on yourself to be more loving and to be less anxious and irritable and be more patient and grounded, the better your creative ideas are going to flow out, the better you're going to be able to express your emotions at a level playing field for whoever you're speaking to. And the better you're going to have that conversation or speak or present on that meeting for work, the better you're going to be in that interview, the more you'll be yourself. And I think it's just so important to ground yourself and practice, make it a habit to practice the breathing technique or whatever your little thing is, whatever you decide to do.
For sure. It's like, bro, it's playing the long game. When we prioritize ourselves in a day, you play the long game. When we neglect ourselves, it's the short game. Like, I'll give you an example. It's like, bro, let's say I'm mixing a song, right? My ears will usually tell me when they're finished. They need a break, right? But let's say, and this is a very real example, has happened to me many times, especially when I was surviving off of mixing and mastering. It was my full income. I was surviving off it, providing for my family. I would be in this situation where, like, man, like, kind of the same thing as watching the phone at night. My eyes were getting tired. My brain is tired. My ears are tired. I'm not making even the best decisions anymore in that song. I'm not serving it in the best way possible because I'm already so low on energy. And somewhere in me, it's the instant gratification. It's the survivability. It's the thing that says, oh, if I just get this done, I can chill, right? And to me is the short game, and here's why. Because when I do that, so many things happen and ripple off that. One, whoever I'm mixing that song for is not getting the best version of me when I approach it. I'm not making the best decisions. So I'm really hurting myself in the long run, even if it maybe doesn't seem like it in the moment, because it's like, oh, okay, I get to turn this mix in and get that money sent to my bank account so I could eat tomorrow and our family can eat tomorrow, right? And it's so tricky because it's like, oh, out of scarcity and necessity, I'm like, oh, I can't not take 15 minutes for myself because I can finish this song up in 15 minutes and get it uploaded and all these things. But when I'm in that space, I can assure you I am not making a clear-headed decision or hearing the song in the best way possible. And this is just an example through music, but this translates everywhere. It's like when ideas and decisions are made out of the fear of not being able to survive or scarcity or not having enough, or oh no, we got to eat tomorrow, or whatever it is, that is scarcity and fear. That shit is like a restricting tightrope around the neck. But when it's like, wait a minute, when that thing is so tight and I'm like, what about myself? My body has told me I'm finished hours ago. Let me try taking that moment and taking a break, taking the time to invest in myself and watch how I return to that same thing that was giving me issues because it was wringing my neck already because I was pushing past my limits. And I was in a place of fear and scarcity, believing that that was the only thing that was going to work if I just kept going and pushing. It's like when I let go and served myself for that 15 minutes, however long, all of a sudden I'm fresher, I'm clearer. I actually come back into the perspective that was not the only thing that was going to take care of us. It was actually this idea, because when I let go of the strain on this thing, this other idea came through so easily and gracefully. And I'm like, oh, actually we're good because I can just go do this other thing also, and I'm clear-headed and I can handle it with grace and precision and the best version that I am. So it's like, by not serving ourselves, it just puts us in a rat race in the short game. There's somewhere in me that's like, oh, if I do this, there's instant gratification because I finished it. But playing the long game is serving ourselves, taking that moment to stop, to fill our fucking cups back up. And it's going to give us that fuel to keep driving all the way across the country instead of breaking down on the side of the road and having to like tinker and fix it and being pissed off, you know, because our bodies are going to give us problems as life goes on. Life is going to give us problems as life goes on. But having a filled cup and handling those, or having a not filled cup and handling those, I think we all know what we'd prefer, right? And it's just about convincing yourself that you actually do have the moment and the time and capacity to prioritize those things.
Preach!
Preach! Because we all do. We all do.
No,
even
absolutely.
Like whether you have 7 kids, you work 6 jobs, I swear to you, those jobs give you breaks. And instead of taking a 45-minute lunch break and you're eating for 45 minutes, take 30 minutes to eat, take 15 minutes to go do whatever you need to do. And your entire existence will thank you. Everybody that you come into contact with, including yourself, you know, it's like, come on, man. Shit is real. It's so real.
Oh, so real, man. And the importance of it ties in to your relationships, your creativity, and kind of segueing into a little segment that I want to do on the podcast here every episode. Hey!
New seggy. Let's ride, buddy.
Dude. Let's go. Podcasting is fun. All right. So I posted a Instagram story about an hour before we started recording, and just asked people on a poll to drop some questions that we could answer on the podcast. I didn't really give it like any boundaries. I just have a couple questions here. The more episodes we do, I'll make sure to post that poll a little bit earlier so we can get more questions. But to start out, we got 2 questions here. The first one.
Hey!
Yeah, question one. So this is going to be a hard one. What is your favorite song you have ever written and why? And to give you even some more options, if you wanted to, you could say, what is your favorite song you've ever worked on? But if you wanted to, you could just start on the ones that you've made yourself and written and everything.
So should I answer it first?
Either way, I can go, you can go. Do you have an answer off the top of your head?
That's a hard one. I actually thought about this probably yesterday. Like, I don't know why. Maybe it's when you were like, hey, like I'm going to come up with some questions or things to bring to the pod. It's like, I feel like I thought of that. And I always try to answer it myself. And like, is it challenging to answer myself? And it totally is. Because I feel like every song that I've ever written and that's come through has been so like, they're like little time capsules of truth you know? So like they're all equally fucking cool in their own way.
Yes.
Like to me, I think, yeah, I could literally detail how every song that I've ever put out has like come through in every way. So it's like, to me, they're all so memorable, and I can't quite give it to one. So I feel like each and every one that I've put out, it's been like, damn, but because I could literally make a case for every song that I've ever released to be like,
Yes.
oh, but that one, but this one. Like, for example, Reflections. That song had such a magical experience writing it and allowing it to come through, because it wasn't really like I didn't sit there and intentionally try to write it. It just wrote, like it just happened. And I've said this, you know, in conversation before, but sometimes the room will just write the song. Like I'm like sitting there, I got the beat playing. It's like sunshine peeking through the window. And I'm like, but as I was vibing to the beat, the sun is literally coming through the window, creating this crazy like vibe with the sunbeam blasting through, like a little bit of fog. So it kind of like fuses out once it goes through the window. You know, and I'm like, oh, and then the next line literally just comes out. It's like, I've seen a lot of motherfuckers look cold. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then it was just a feeling, right? Like it wasn't me sitting there writing it, thinking about writing it. I'm just feeling it. And then that shit just comes out, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then I sit there and I write the verse, right? And every song I've ever put out has happened that way, where it's like, when I'm fully out of the way of it, I'm like, oh shit, something will just come through. And I'm like, it's because I was fully in myself, just feeling it. So it's the feeling that was captured.
Right.
So with that said, let me not, you know, dance around the question. My favorite, I'm going to have to say, damn, it's got to be, but I think for me, between Reflections and Feelings Mutual. And I'll leave it there. What about you?
Two very, very good songs. And you explained it. I would have, all those words you just said before you said your answer, I would say the exact same thing. It's so hard to choose. Like, that's like having to pick, not that I know how this is, but having to pick your favorite kid or something. Like, like, how do you choose? Like, it's so hard. And I think the ones that stick out the most are probably the ones that are the most recent. I feel like every song that I've put out has been my favorite song at some point in time. More songs stay my favorite for more than others. And I think that's kind of how I'll weigh my judgment on picking my favorite. But dang, that still even makes it hard. I think Heights is one of my favorites.
Tough. I would not have guessed you had said that.
That song is just, in my opinion, like, I'm going to love that song forever. I'm going to be 40, like, still like, dang. Like, I really, like, this is a really good song. And that's got to be one of them. And currently, other than Heights,
come on, give us a top three. Give us number 1, 2, and 3.
Oh my God. Okay, well,
I
Heights is in there.
Shit.
I don't know if I'll be able to put him like on a podium and say this is 1, 2, or 3. I'll just kind of say they're all neck and neck. Let's say Heights. Miss has got to be up there in the top 3. I think Miss still has the potential to be a super duper viral song just because of how simple it is. It's upbeat, it's catchy, and feel good song. And then, man, can I get an honorable mention spot? Because I'm thinking of 3, and I'm like, oh man.
For sure.
3, I'd say I'd say Die When We're Old is 3, just because of how, kind of like what you mentioned with your favorite songs, how they just flowed out of you. I remember when I recorded Die When We're Old, I was feeling super introspective, like lonely. It was cold as shit outside, like dead of winter. Like all the trees on my window were absolutely frozen still with no leaves. It was like a gray, cloudy day. And I remember finding that beat and I was like, oh man. I stood up out of my chair. I was like, hold on, hold on. And I just hit record. And that song just came out. I wrote Die When We're Old in maybe 10 minutes. Maybe. Had everything recorded in 10 minutes. And then obviously I went back to it and worked on it some more, and added like a couple layers and stuff. But that song just flowed out of me. And an honorable mention and a little plug, because this song has been my favorite recently. Like if I get in the car, I'm playing this at least twice in a row. As soon as I get in the car, I play this song before bed. Any chance I get right now, I'm listening to it. Out of Zoo with my brother, our first ever track that we've made together that
So
you and I
crazy.
have both written to. The instrumental is bonkers. I don't even understand it still. And I've listened to the song 500 times probably.
Yeah. The pocket, the bounce, the sound choice, like unreal. Shout out to whoever produced that, because it is
Arcane Beats.
Yeah, Arcane Beats, bro. Like you're dope, because that is crazy, and I would love to hear more production and beats. And we definitely got to get connected, because it's just got such a crazy pocket. But that's super tight that one's in there too.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll throw as soon as that song comes out on Sunday night, I'll throw the link to that song. Well, if this podcast comes out after the song's out, which I feel like it probably would, I'll have the link in the description for not Broke Out of Zoo. I changed it to Out of Zoo, and I'll throw the link in there. Super catchy, like upbeat, fun, whole bunch of energy. And when I listen to that song, my mind just goes off into these different realms and creativity loops and like imagery. It's by far the most like visual song I've ever created. And when I listen to it, I just envision all these different little scenarios and scenes and like, oh man, it's just so tight. And I'm excited to put it out. So excited. I'm actually working on some graphics and stuff like today when I have some free time. And I'm going to promote the shit out of that song, dude.
It's really tight. Yeah, that shit's gonna be just really cool to get to share with people, because it is just cool as fuck. It's so tight, And that's I love your list too, because I feel like I wouldn't have guessed any of them in your like top 3, and I think that's just so tight. Yeah, because I feel like I wanna say, like, pick one of my favorites from your catalog that are my favorites.
Do it. Tell me.
I would say, "Love Me Down" that's still probably in my top 3 from you. I would say, I think one of the harder ones. I don't know if it got slept on. And here's the cool thing. All your music is gonna be received. It's just as you grow, people can be like going back to the catalog. Like compare it to like a Russ situation or whatever. Like when all the songs are quality, even if they all don't go get fucking huge right away, it's like, it's about the catalog. Like putting out all this music, it's when one does grow and grab a bunch of people, they can come back and fall in love. Like if the first date was great and you showed this one song that was fucking cool, they're like, ooh, I want to come back for some more. And then all of a sudden you got 27 songs just sitting there. They're like, how does nobody know about this? And then they start telling everybody, you know? And so for me, right, back to the top 3, I would say the one I was going to mention is, what's it called? Red lipstick like Ferrari. She was all on me. Yup, yeah. That's probably up there because there's just something about the way you float on that. You and what's his new artist name again?
Dove. Shout out Dove.
Yeah, Dove. Crazy. Y'all's collaborations are so tight too. I would say number 3, like kind of, and this is in no order, but just like kind of like a top 3 that I really enjoy listening to. Man, and I would say there's just a lot of really good ones, but even like Changing Ways, I feel like is a super tough one. Beeline is tough. Baby Mitts is tough. You know, Die When We're Old is probably also, you know what I'm saying? You just got a lot of dope shit, and it's just so tight to be getting to build this together. And now, like, to circle back around to the fact that we got a song coming out, it'll be out when this podcast drops. It's like, bro, that is legendary. It's legendary.
Absolutely. And I appreciate you. Like, it makes me so happy. Like, I'm cheesing out ear to ear because just hearing you and that you like genuinely enjoy the songs that I make is so cool because I have always admired any song that you put on when we're in the car together, like any song that you show me or you just unintentionally like put me on is always so fire, bruh. And like, I am not even joking. My brother has the single best music taste playlist I've ever found ever. Like, you might think you got a good playlist. You might think you got a good music taste. Ethan has 497 songs from this genre that he could show you that you never heard before, and 492 of them you'll add to your playlist. Like, hands down best music taste. God. And
so fire. That's a brilliant compliment, like beautiful compliment for real. You know, I feel like that before I ever started making music, like music taste was all I had. Like I didn't get to have, like I wasn't creating songs, you know? So it's like finding the illest music. I feel like I started doing that in high school, you know, like where
absolutely.
There was like some people who'd come up to me like, yo, like I heard that playlist like you made. Could you send it to me? I'd be like, what? Yeah, for sure. Cause I would sit in class on those little Chromebooks they gave us. And while whoever was giving a lecture, bro, I was sitting there the whole class period. And this is why I almost didn't graduate towards the end, but we don't need to get into that right now. But I would sit there on SoundCloud and I would type in like descriptive words. Like I'd just be like wavy water song or something, right? Like I'll just use like those kind of key words. And I remember that's how I found like a Russ in 2015 before he was super popping off. I was like, yo, like who the is this dude with all these songs? You know, and I would find like a ZZ Gibson and run into all these, Mick Jenkins, and like me and the homies would just go crazy with all of these songs that we were finding, because it's like, yo, like what is this underground shit? Because as we're growing up, you know, we're a product of what our parents were playing in the crib. Everybody has kind of caught on to that idea, and it's like, as we start to develop those, when we like branch off and we're like, okay, but what's out in the world? I didn't even know underground shit existed. I thought it was just Drake, Eminem, Lil Wayne, you know, all the rock shit dad was playing. And you know, like Adele and fuck whatever, right? And like it wasn't until I was like, yo, like I heard like Pro Era and Flatbush Zombies and like the whole Beast Coast movement, and then out west, you know, getting into like Kendrick stuff and all kinds of different stuff, and then finding like the OGs of like the Dr. Dre's and all this different stuff. So I'm like, dang, like there is just music everywhere. Let me go find it. And I think that's where like me creating these playlists came from, because I literally wanted to find music that nobody was talking about, that nobody was like hip to, because I'm like, damn, I could show people like this really dope stuff. And, you know, I think it just became something that I'm like, I get probably just as excited to like have a really dope playlist as I do, you know, pretty much anything else. And I absolutely have a dream to be able to like host a radio station that is totally curated by me, that I can spin all these records. Like they don't have to be censored or anything, but it's a private station that people can just vibe to, listen to, like literally plays, you know, whether it's like all day or just like for an hour on a specific station. Oh, it'd be so tight. That is a manifestation
That's a cool idea.
I absolutely could see myself doing for sure. You know,
I would be listening to it without a doubt. If I needed some music I've never heard before, like sprinkled in a couple of songs that I already know, but I would absolutely listen to it. Second question for the little Q&A segment. Which is good that we spent a little bit of time on the first one because we only got two. So, question number 2: Who, and it ties into music too, so it's a good segue. Who do you think is considered a GOAT who isn't recognized as one? You can come in.
That's a good ass question. Yeah, I would. Oh, let's see. Who's a GOAT that isn't recognized as one? Oh yeah, I can think of a couple. Do you want to go first? I'll let you go first this time.
Oh gosh. I haven't thought about my answer to this at all. Let me see. Oh man. This is probably a hot take. I think Logic is one of my GOATs. And he was one of the I'd say he was one of my first hip hop rap artists that I fell in love with as like a not even a freshman in high school. It was before that. I think I was in middle school, like 6th grade, 7th grade. And dude, I remember like I would wear my janky destroyed Beats headphones that were like my one ear was like here and then the other one was like bent broken this way, and if I wanted to listen to both headphones I had to like lay on a pillow on my side. But I remember just pulling up Apple Music because I was on Apple Music at the time. Spotify is way better. And just hitting shuffle or going top to bottom on The Incredible True Story album or Under Pressure. And I think he gets so much hate, not necessarily very much anymore as he did like a few years ago, but he just gets slandered and like get a weird, like people would think it's weird to like Logic, or like it's it's more common to like hate on his stuff. But it was so good. Like his production was insane. The way he could storytell and write songs is absolutely GOAT material in my eyes.
Well, that's dope, because Under Pressure, real quick, Under Pressure, Incredible True Story, classic. I don't care what anybody says. I will come for anybody's neck with arguing that those two, both of them, classic, top to bottom. So good.
Yes.
Even, and I will say everything after that didn't stick the same way for me, personally.
Yeah.
Personally. Everything before that, his mixtape run was so solid. So solid.
Yeah.
So
that
to
that
me,
era is what I'm talking about. Yeah.
well, think about how many goats, true goats, have, let's just call it, I'll give Logic, let's say 3 really good projects, being Under Pressure, Incredible True Story, and probably, I think it was his last, I don't know if it was the Young Sinatra series or what it was, but one of his later mixtapes. And let's just call it 2. Fuck it. We'll call it 2.
Yeah.
There is not too many people on this planet that have 2 pretty undisputable bodies of work. Period. You know, and I think goats are people that have created projects that are just timeless and classic. You can play today as you could when they first came out, and they still just have a feeling.
Exactly.
And so for me, I would say, real quick sidebar about the Logic Under Pressure album. I was going to say this. When I had an Android, because I had an Android deep into high school, like until my senior year of high school, I'm pretty sure. Under Pressure, I can't remember what year it came out, but it was the only album I had downloaded on my phone before Spotify. I was still using, DatPiff, Spinrilla. Shout out to those who know what those are, because they are.
I don't.
So those are goated. Like, we're talking about goats. Those are goats of mixtape and underground shit that you just could not find on Spotify at the time, or any streaming service really. But Under Pressure was the first album I had downloaded on that shitty little Android phone. The only album. So I've heard that album probably 1,000 times. My goat that isn't recognized as a goat. Oh man, I would say I gotta throw, and I'm gonna stay in kind of the hip hop realm. Mick Jenkins, we mentioned him earlier. That's a goat to me. Like,
dude, great.
I
pick.
listen to his music. It inspires the hell out of me. He has always done things conceptually, politically, and spiritually, and just production is always crazy. So many dope things. I'm gonna say Mick. Let's see if I can get one more in there. Mick, and I'm gonna say, I'll leave it there for sure. I know there's more that I could come up with, but I'm gonna say Mick for now. Those are 2 dope questions. Who are you able to say who put those in? Like,
the
who,
first one,
who delivered those?
The first one was off of Instagram, and I didn't see the person's name. And then the second one was from Tanner, which is like my lifelong best friend. So shout out Tanner.
Shout out Tanner, and shout out the unknown person who knows who they are, but
Yes.
clearly we missed that. Oh man, I was gonna say something. Where was I gonna segue with that last bit there? Yeah, shout out to people that dropping questions. That's tight.
We'll continue to do that segment, and like if you guys have questions, you can put them in the YouTube comments too. I'll be reading every single comment for sure, without question. And then also we're gonna be throwing our song in the description. We can throw links to some of the songs that we talked about, or even the artist, especially the Wim Hof YouTube link. We're going to be throwing that in there because that is so valuable. And if you don't at least check it out, just click on the YouTube video and read the comments in there, because there's thousands upon thousands of reviews of people talking about how it has genuinely changed their lives. So we can kind of leave it at that. Yeah, dude, I'm so excited to keep this going, man.
Hell yeah. Yeah, this is another one in the books. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for coming through, listening, stopping by. We're going to keep dropping every week. Stick around, stay tuned, follow us on socials. We're going to be active. New music coming always. Dog, it's so tight to get to do this with you, bro. This is a very special thing. I'm extremely grateful, and I love you, bro.
Oh man, I'm grateful too. Reciprocated everything right back to you. I love you. And I love everybody watching.